Tony Marks is not the mayor of the city of New York, but he is the head of the public library. Let me introduce Tony Marks.
Mr. Mayor, it's an honor to have you. It's an honor to have all of you here in the House. This is the central building of the greatest public library in the world, appropriate enough for the greatest city in the world. When you think about New York today, I think you think about two things. We are the capital of the information age. And the library is where all information is available for free to all comers. And New York is the capital of the diversity of experience of New York, of the diversity of experience of the world that comes to New York and lives here. There is no place else like it. You put that diversity of experience together with access to the great information and ideas of the world, and you have the most fantastically, explosively creative possibility that we have ever seen. The library couldn't be more proud of that. We couldn't be more proud of being a place where all New Yorkers come. Whatever advantage or disadvantage you have, a third of New Yorkers can't afford books, can't afford computers, they come to us. Increasingly, they're coming to us for after school, for computer skills, for language training, for citizenship training, and of course, people who come to us with all varieties of experiences, and of course, the disabled. We are proud to be the library, for instance, for something in the area of 80,000 people with vision problems come to the high school library. We circulate close to 500,000 items. We send them out, and we do that not only for all New Yorkers, but for everyone in the greater New York vicinity. As someone who grew up in New York, went to the public schools of New York, whose mother spent her career working with the disabled at United Cerebral Palsy, I could not be more proud to host this event here in this beautiful room at this amazing library, and I couldn't be more proud to introduce to you again the man who is bringing New York together, who is bringing that diversity of experience and of insight and talent to bear for the future, making sure that everyone has the opportunities that they deserve. We couldn't be more proud to be partnering with his administration, and we're delighted to have him here today. Please, again, welcome Bill de Blasio.
Okay, this time it's really me. So, first I want to thank Tony Marks for hosting us, but I also want to thank him for what he just described to you. You know, last year I talked about something we have to overcome in this city, the tale of two cities. It takes many forms. There is a crisis of inequality we face on many fronts. And I have to say that the New York Public Library is in the front ranks addressing that crisis in so many meaningful ways. You just heard him list some of the ways that this is a place of inclusion, a place where inequality is addressed and equality is fostered, and that's worth a lot. Let's thank Tony Marks for all he does. I am so proud to join everyone tonight celebrating the 24th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act. It is an extraordinary moment. It's a victory we should respect and celebrate over and over again. And it's also a chance to recognize people and businesses and institutions that take the spirit of the ADA and put it into action every day in this city. I want to thank our Commissioner, Victor Calise, who you'll hear from, I should say, in a few moments, for his incredible efforts on behalf of those with disabilities. Who knew? I I think it's great that all of Victor's family members are here tonight. No, Victor. Victor. Victor, I've done some research. I believe they love you. Victor's done extraordinary things for the city. I want to just say also, he has a tremendous credential that I did not know about before. In addition to being a great and hard-working public servant, somehow he finds time for his athletic life as well. He was an Olympic athlete who competed in 1998 at the Nagano Olympics on the Paralympic sled hockey team. Now we know what he does in his spare time. Victor, thank you for your service to the city. I want to thank, we have some other great public servants here. One of the people who keeps us safe every day in New York City, our Commissioner for the Office of Emergency Management, Joe Esposito. Let's thank him. In the City Council, we have a lot of people who stand up for people with disabilities and support progress for people with disabilities, and one of them is a councilman from the Bronx, Andy Cohen. Let's thank him. Every great event needs sponsors. Let's thank the sponsors. Taxi Club Management, Anheuser-Busch, Curemark, Microsoft, and BNP Paribas. Let's thank them all for helping to make tonight possible. Why are we all here with such energy, such enthusiasm? Because the ADA is one of the greatest civil rights laws passed in the history of the United States of America. And it has had a transformative effect on American society, and there's so much more to do, but this is a law that literally changed the way we think, the way we act. It's a law that fully took life. And now it's our job to go farther. This was the world's first civil rights bill for people with disabilities. America was the trendsetter for the whole world, and that's something to be proud of, and that has sparked so much more around the world. I had the honor a few months ago of speaking with a hero. And it's funny, you look at history and some people just stand out. And Tom Harkin is one of the people who changed history for the better. And he said that the law would be, quote, the 20th century's Emancipation Proclamation for all Americans with disabilities. And he was right. ADA's helped to create a more inclusive society. It's helped people to live more independently. It's helped us become a stronger city, a stronger nation, because everyone has a greater chance of inclusion. That is what defines, by the way, security. One of the definitions of security, one of the definitions of national security, is when everyone is included and is strong and is unified, and the ADA has been an agent of that inclusion. That makes us stronger as a nation. And we know what people had to deal with before the ADA. We know how difficult the physical challenges were. We know they still exist in many places, and we're working every day to try and reduce them. But it used to be a commonplace that people couldn't go where they needed to go, had insurmountable barriers placed in their path, and there was no sense we had to do something about it. And the ADA, literally in just years, we saw such a radical change. We saw sidewalks with curb cuts and kneeling buses with ramps and accessible seating in stadiums and theaters. And we saw a different mindset that permeated all of our society, that permeated employment and media and all elements of society, and made it very clear it was not only illegal to discriminate, it was inappropriate, it was immoral to discriminate against people with disabilities. That's a lot for one law to achieve. We are every day building on the legacy of the ADA. We know it is ongoing work by definition. It's such a profound statement and vision that by definition, it's required all these years to get as far as we've gotten, and we're going to have to go farther and farther every year. This is work that doesn't end. But I don't say that as a negative. That's an inspiration to us to dig deeper, go farther, because we know it's the right mandate. We have to create a more inclusive city for the nearly 1 million New Yorkers who are people with disabilities. And that is part of the core mission of this administration. 2 weeks ago, I had the great honor of signing legislation extending rental assistance to even more New Yorkers with disabilities. We raised the maximum income level for those eligible for the Disability Rent Increase Exemption, popularly known as DRE. Now, at least 3,000 more individuals and families will have access to these benefits and will be able to afford the housing they're in. Now, this is another key element to our overall plan for affordable housing. In April, something I'm very proud of, we announced plans to make half of all New York City's yellow cabs wheelchair accessible by 2020. Senator Harkin and I spoke at the time, and he said with real passion that he knew this would be a difference maker when the biggest city in the country, an example to the country, to the world, acted. He said two things that he put in writing for us because he wanted us to tell the world. He said, in New York City, accessible taxis will mean an accessible, equal opportunity life for those with disabilities. And he said, New York City can now serve as a powerful model for other major cities that aspire to make their taxi fleets accessible. You know, there's a song that says, I just heard it the other day, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Very catchy, don't you think? So, when we prove how much more you can achieve for accessibility, it will inspire others to action. And we have other priorities. We need safer streets for all New Yorkers. We need safer streets and more accessible streets for New Yorkers with disabilities, and all that is going to happen under the rubric of our Vision Zero plan that says we are going to protect all New Yorkers from the challenges that they've faced on our sidewalks, on our streets. It's an inclusive plan. It's a far-reaching plan. And as I mentioned, affordable housing. I think one thing we can say about New Yorkers that unites us all, we're all concerned about the cost of housing. It's on our minds all the time. If you think the rent is too damn high, you are definitely a New Yorker. So our plan over 10 years, 200,000 units built or preserved over the next 10 years, enough for 500,000 New Yorkers. And a lot of that plan is aimed at helping people with disabilities. Because if you can handle the most expensive element of your life, housing, then all other things become possible. So we have partners all over the city who share this vision. This is such a powerful movement. You never feel like you're alone when you're fighting for the rights of those with disabilities, because there's so many activists, so many organizations fighting the fight, but there's also so many people who believe, so many companies that believe in doing the right thing, so many individuals, so many institutions that want to do the right thing and are making it real. And that, tonight, is what we celebrate. We celebrate these wonderful people and organizations with the ADA Sapelin Award. And this award named in honor of the late Matthew Sapelin. He was the first commissioner, the first ever commissioner first commissioner for the mayor's office for people with disabilities, a trailblazer, an extraordinary advocate who, despite blindness, made an impact for everyone in this city and who served until his untimely death. And this award honors him and continues the spirit of his work. I want to congratulate all of tonight's honorees, and they all deserve it. Give it to them, and you're going to have to give it to them a lot of applause tonight. And this is going to be a big year for all of us because we have a year until the 25th anniversary of the ADA. That's one of the big ones. So we have to do some extraordinary things, so we have a lot to celebrate on the 25th anniversary. I look forward to working with each and every one of you on that path to a more just, inclusive New York City. Now, I get to introduce who's obviously a rock star, Commissioner Calise, and Victor has provided nearly 2 decades of service to the community of people with disabilities. In the last 2 years as commissioner, He's done extraordinary work improving access to cultural institutions, identifying wheelchair-friendly restaurants, helping the city to design more accessible parks and playgrounds and beaches. When he isn't out there doing sled hockey, he is making this a better city for everyone. Victor Calise, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, boy. Yes, Mr. Mayor, my family is here tonight. and I have my mother here, and she'll tell you about that later.
Large family.
My mother's here, so she'll tell you about it later. Well, thank you, everyone, for the warm introduction. And thank you, Tony Marks, for hosting it here at the New York Public Library. And there's one thing that you did fail to mention, that the library is accessible. Yes, and it's accessible on so many different levels. Thank you. I'm grateful that we could all come together here tonight in this beautiful venue to celebrate the 24th anniversary of the ADA and the presentation of the 2014 ADA Saplin Awards in honor of the late Commissioner Saplin. And he touched every one of us, and it's still great to be able to honor him in every way that we can today. Since the implementation of the ADA, it's broken down barriers for people with disabilities, not only for the city, but around the country and around the world as well. As a commissioner for the Mayor's Office for People with Disabilities, I have the privilege of working together with the Mayor and city agencies to ensure that policies addresses the needs of people with disabilities in accordance with the ADA. I want to thank Mayor de Blasio as well as First Deputy Mayor. As well as First Deputy Mayor Shores for their commitment towards accessibility and providing all the services that we need in this city. As we work in making New York City the most accessible city in the world, yes, you heard me, Mayor, that's what we're trying to do here. We have much to do. But the good thing is that we have so many willing partners in this endeavor, and that speaks to everyone in this room. And the Mayor has put together an amazing cast of commissioners that are really committed to making sure that accessibility is being reached. The Department of Transportation, like the Mayor mentioned, making our streets accessible. They're very committed to to be able to do that on many levels. Housing preservation development, including accessible, affordable housing in the Mayor's housing plan, and to be able to go over and beyond that. And there's lots of conversations with bringing that is here as well. Health and Hospitals Corporation for making their exam tables and mammogram machines accessible for people with disabilities. The Parks Department for making their playgrounds accessible where kids with disabilities can play. And Human Resources Administration for getting us the services that we need, want, and expect. I also want to thank the staff at MOPD. They're here tonight. They're all over the place, and they mean so much to me, and I can't get anything done without them. And I'm so glad that they're here, and thank you for everything that you do. The hardworking interns at MOPD, they're here tonight as well, and they're just excellent in doing and being committed to everything, and it's great that we're able to show them a path to accessibility. And my family, my beautiful wife, Susan, yes. My daughters, Lola and Sophia. Thank you for everything. Listening to my speeches, sharing me with everybody, and telling me where I'm not right in my speeches, right, Lola? Yeah. And just being there all the time. And I want to thank my mother and my brother for my brother Lewis is here tonight, and I want to thank you for all the hard times and that you got me through as well, and my friends that are here as well. With that, I have several awards to give out to people and organizations who've paved the way in both accessibility as well as advocacy for people with disabilities. And I would like to thank them for that. So let's get to the presentation of the 2014 ADA Saplin Awards. So Title I is employment, and I have the pleasure of presenting it to JetBlue. JetBlue is committed to the equal opportunity employment, including recruiting, hiring, and reasonable accommodation of qualified crew members, especially those with disabilities. All crew members are encouraged to participate in outreach activities devoted to providing education and information about employment of people with disabilities. And diversity is one of JetBlue's strengths and a foundation of the company's creative and innovative spirit. And now to accept the award on behalf of JetBlue, please welcome its Manager of Compliance Programs, Mr. Gerald Isaac.
Playing the role of Victor's spokesmodel tonight.
Vanna White, I think we
That's
said.
Right.
So Title II, Public Service, goes to Theater Breaking Through Barriers. Theater Breaking Through Barriers is one of the only off-Broadway and one of the few theaters in the country dedicated to advancing actors and writers with disabilities and changing the image of people with disabilities from dependence to independence. Since its beginning as Theater by the Blind in 1979, they have been integrating able-bodied, low vision, and blind actors and writers. They went even further in 2008 to make sure that people with physical disabilities were also included in that. And we are grateful for their work, and I encourage each and every one of you to go out and catch a show. And accepting the award on behalf of Theater Breaking Through Barriers, please welcome Associate Director Nicholas Vasily. Private business, Title III. It goes to HandyLift, and they've been committed to providing accessibility with dignity and serving those with disabilities since 1975, way before the ADA. They sell stairway, chair lifts, and other accessibility lifts that enable people with disabilities to move freely and live their daily lives without obstacles. They provide a broad product range, expert installation, and superior service, and I believe they even installed a lift up at Gracie Mansion, at the City Hall. Yes, and they provide people with access with the need for their daily lives to become active contributors towards everything the city has to offer. On behalf, to accept the award goes to Doug Boydstein, president of HandyLift. This Title IV is telecommunication. It's something that people with disabilities don't really know about 711. It's New York Relay. And New York Relay is a statewide service that provides the deaf and hard of hearing community with the ability to use the telephone through an assistance of a sign language interpreter and a relay operator. Relay also allows for those with speech impairments who have difficulty being understood over the telephone with the ability to get revoiced in order to better communicate with all of us. Users can access these services for no additional cost by simply dialing 711. New York State was one of the leaders in providing telephone accessibility for the deaf and hard of hearing, and I want to congratulate Relay, which, like the ADA, is celebrating an anniversary. Thanks to the good work of the people at Relay, over the past 25 years, millions of telephone calls have been placed by people who have not otherwise been able to do so. And now to accept the award on behalf of New York Relay 711, please welcome the Customer Relations Manager for New York Relay, Miss Mary Beth Mothersupple. Now for the Frida Zames Advocacy Award. Now this is a big award, and I'm honored to be giving it to Christina Curry tonight. This award goes to a woman that I have the pleasure of knowing very well. She embodies the spirit of Frida Zames while serving as an advocate for the disabled community. She's one of the most diverse people that I know, and you have to ask her about it because she's got a good story about it. And this diversity is what enables her to reach a wide population of her community and help better their lives. Christina Curry began her career in rehabilitation as an advocate with the deaf and hard of hearing communities. From there, she transitioned to mental health field as mental health counselor, working with the deaf, deaf and hard of hearing domestic violence victims and survivors. She currently serves as the executive director for the Harlem Independent Living Center since 2001. She has also served on committees for disability rights, such as the chair for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing Domestic Violence Victim Survivors Task Force, the Monarch Center Advisory Committee, Mount Sinai SCI Advisory Committee, Office of Emergency Management Special Needs Advisory Committee, along with serving on the New York State Independent Living Council Committee and the New York Association of Independent Living. We thank Christina for her hard work and her continued support through the years. Please welcome her to accept the Frida James Advocacy Award. All right, that's it for the awards. But before we go, next year's the 25th anniversary of the ADA, like the mayor mentioned. We want to make it big, and we're going to be reaching out to people to do something really big and innovative, and showcase the accessibility in New York City, because we are working to make New York City the most accessible city in the world. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.